All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. All right, this lesson is going to be on this book that I've been coming across a lot on social media, and it's called The 48 Laws of Power. All right, and the reason why there's like a little bit of controversy is because, um, yeah, they're saying that it's like banned in prison and that it's like a real powerful book and it teaches you how to, you know, think outside the box a little bit and, obtain, power over people. And, so I looked into it and, it's pretty on point. Um, and it's basically, it teaches you street smarts, you know, all the stuff that they don't teach you in, uh, school. And, most of these things, people might already know through their own experiences, but, this book just like kind of labels those experiences. And, I was reading through it and, uh, filtering it through the scriptures, all right? Because, hey, the scriptures teach you how to obtain power, you know. And the thing about it is, they like, our Western society through movies, media and schooling. Whenever they teach history, they always try to make it seem like if you have power, then you're, the bad guy, so to speak. But really, power isn't inherently, you know, evil or good. It's how you use power. But so if you have power and you are righteous in it, then hey, you're righteous. But if you abuse your power, then that's wicked. Matter of fact, that makes me think of the righteous. Yeah, this is Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." All right, and that's evident. In today's society, the wicked are in rule. You know, um, Esau, Edom, primarily that top position, and that's why shit is so fucked up. But when the righteous get in rulership, that's when people are gonna rejoice. You know, so much so, it's written in Isaiah 2 that that all the heathen are gonna um, flow unto Israel. All right, this is Isaiah 2, and I'll just read 2. And it says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains," meaning Israel, the Lord's house being Israel, you know, is going to be exalted over all the other mountains, right? And mountains symbolize governments in the scriptures, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it, meaning they're going to be coming to Israel for advice. And many people shall go and say, "Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of God of Jacob," all right, which is Yahweh, through his son Yahushai. And Jacob, whose later name was changed to Israel, Jacob and Israel is synonymous. "And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord, Yahweh from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore." So when the Israelites, starting with Yahushai, then the elect, the first fruits, and then, the Israelites, when that new covenant is established where the laws, statutes, and judgments are going to be written on our inward parts, there's not going to be any uh, uh, need for war because there's going to be a perfect judgment going out throughout the earth, and also it'd be impossible to take the Israelites out of rulership. You know, even if they did want to try to make war against the Israelites, we we're promised everlasting life, so it won't happen. You know. Um, yeah. Let's see. It also made me think of in due time it will set up. Yeah. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, the 10th chapter. I'll start at 1. It says, "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein." So if you want, if you want, the people under you to be righteous, and you're over them, then you have to, hold yourself to a high standard as well. You have to be righteous. You have to set that example, because whatever the leader does, that's how his followers are gonna conduct themselves. You know, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So an unwise king like Esau, he vexes them and abuses them, overworks them. But what he doesn't realize is that's what's keeping him up on top. You know, why would you shoot your foot, so to speak? Um, but the verse 4, it says, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable." You know, so this wicked rulership is only for a moment. In due time he's going to set over it one that is profitable, which is going to be Yahweh Shai, and under him the elect and the rest of Israel. Yeah, let's get back to this book. And all these things, like I said, you can, scriptures come to mind whenever you read these. Like the first one, it says, the first law, it says, "Never outshine the master." And basically what that's saying is, be humble, taking the low. It says, "Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power." When it comes to power, outshining the master is perhaps the worst mistake of all. Yeah, if there's a king set over you, you want to make him look good. You don't want to cause problems in his rulership, because you're actually the problem. you know, it's also goes into King David's mindset, where he said, "I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord." You know, Psalms 84:10, "For a day in the courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my power than to dwell in the tents of wickedness." So it's just, having the idea of being humble, and, whatever position you do have, you know, doing that with all your all your might, soul, and strength, and for Yahweh Bashem Shai, of course, you know. Um, yeah, just being humble. Uh, it says, "Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies." And this is worded weird. I don't like this one, how it's worded, because in the scriptures it talks about a true friend is those that keep you in check. Iron sharpeneth iron. So does a friend sharpen his the accountants. Let me grab it. Iron sharpens iron. Yeah. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. You know. So this is just going off of the idea of the worldly understanding of friends. You know, those that flatter you, but really people that flatter you aren't your friends. You know. I think, and it also says that in Proverbs, the 27th chapter, I think verse 6. Yeah. I'll start at 5. It says, "Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful." And yeah, that's why I don't like the wording of it, because, when you have an understanding of, really what the scriptures say, you have a true understanding of what real friends do. You know, that's why it says hire a former enemy, and he will be more loyal than a friend. Because yeah, they don't. This person doesn't. Whoever wrote this doesn't really know what an enemy is or what a friend is. Um, but it's just going off of that worldly understanding of who your friends and enemies are. Um, but yeah, basically the whole idea. A true friend is those who tell you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear. That ideology. Conceal your intentions. Um, yeah, and the scriptures talk about this. Uh, but not your right hand. Let's see. This is Matthew 6:1. It says, "Take heed that ye do not your alms before men, or letting people know your intentions to be seen of them. Otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Therefore when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, and they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, that thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly." Um, but yeah, it's just the idea of not boasting your true intentions. Also, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. This is Matthew 10:16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." Whenever you have this understanding of the Most High's judgments, yeah, we're sent forth as sheep in the midst of wolves, because whenever you're telling people to get right and correcting them, telling them what they need to hear rather than what they want to hear, people don't like that. People don't like hearing that they're wrong. So in doing so, you have to be, it says, "Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." You can't just come like when you're in the world, you can't just come off and start rebuking people. You have to play these little, you have to plant seeds, get their uh, um, minds turning, asking them questions, get their minds racing, stirring up their spirits. And I think it mentions that um, down here. It says, I mean, you can go through these, like all these like scriptures come to mind. Um, let's see. Yeah, control the, well, that kind of, it's, hold yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, stir up waters to catch fish. It says anger and emotion are strategically counterproductive. You must always stay calm and objective. Yeah, because you know the truth, and you know you think outside of the boxes that they're trapped in. So whenever you know someone is off, and instead of just straight up rebuking them, you can play on their you know uh, uh, emotions to make them come to a conclusion. You know, it says, "But if you can make your enemies angry while staying calm yourself, you gain a decided advantage." Yeah. Um, yeah, I just thought these were interesting, and like I said, there's a right way to do, there's a righteous way to have power and a wrong way. Um, just filter all these through the scriptures. You can see how one, the Most High uses these, because these are useful tactics to obtain power. You can also see how Esau uses these to obtain and abuse power. And you know it's just something interesting that I saw and filter it through the scriptures. But I'm gonna wrap it up. Once again, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Again, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect out there. Shalom.